Hey y'all, welcome back to our company time. I'm your host, Nesha Mishlè.
And I am Caleb Rashod.
So I know that Caleb is an unfamiliar face, at least to our company time, but Caleb and I have worked together in the past before.
Yes.
So he is our hired temp. Our girl Karisma, she had to take a little bit of that PTO, but it's all good. You know, when somebody has to call off on the job, you just got to call in the temp. So Caleb is the temp today.
I am the temporary
The temporary hire.
stand-in. Mhm.
But Caleb is not unfamiliar with OCT, not just a viewer from a viewer standpoint, but he also has, helped with like OCT content in the past. He's been behind the scenes working on stuff. Caleb and I have actually co-hosted another podcast together. We've been co-hosts for hire.
Yeah.
In the past. So we're very familiar with working with one another. Oh, and to boot, we are actually related. Like
Yes,
he's
we
my
are
cousin.
cousins.
We live together. We're simpatico.
Yeah.
So welcome, Caleb. We're happy to have you.
Hey.
So now that we got all that out of the way, and actually tell the people a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, so my name is Caleb Rashod. Like she said, I've been on other projects with Nesha. I also do music. I sing like R&B, pop. I have some music out right now, so go check me out. I'm pretty sure we'll probably link it somewhere.
Yeah, C.
But
Rashod handle.
yes, my Instagram is c.rashod. Actually, that's me on all social medias. And yeah, that's
Boom,
a
boom,
little bit
bow.
about me.
Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you for stepping in for us. We really appreciate you. This is not the
Yes,
last
I'm
y'all will
happy
see of Caleb.
to stand in.
We appreciate it. Okay, so I just want to get right into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
It's about to be Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yes.
Are we ready? We're okay. We're not ready for Thanksgiving.
We're actually not ready.
I'm still up in the air about like when exactly we're gonna drop this. I really hope that y'all don't pay attention to like our quote unquote like episode drop schedule because we're technically
everywhere, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We technically drop episodes like we're, according to our schedule, we drop episodes every other Monday. So we're a bi-weekly, show and we drop on Monday. We definitely have not been we haven't been bi-weekly like at all. It's more so just like when we have and that's actually like what I love about us, Karisma and I, is that like we come together when we have the time to come together and do the stuff. Like we're still dream chasers, but we also got like real life stuff that's going on.
Exactly.
So it's just like I love that we have that that motivation to want to remain consistent and want to continue to show up. But, we also take space for the fact that real life is going on all the time. So all that to say,
it's good to have that flexibility.
So. Exactly. That work-life balance, child.
Yes.
But all that to say, I don't know when this episode will be. I'm still up in the air about when this episode will be released. So y'all gonna find out. We all gonna find out together. Will it be before Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving?
Right.
Who knows? But Thanksgiving, as this episode is being recorded, is on the horizon. It's a few days away. We have stuff to cook to contribute to the overall meal.
Yes, to the meal.
And yeah, we are unprepared.
We just have to get the things. We have to get the ingredients, and we just have to prep. They're not there. I don't think it's like hard. Okay, so what are we making?
Okay, so this is what we're contributing. We are making cabbage. We are making Brussels sprouts. Crispy Brussels sprouts.
And the garlic green beans.
Yes, green beans.
Yes.
So that all that is relatively easy. We just have to prep. We're gonna prep the night before,
right?
And then the day of, we're gonna be cooking. But we're basically joining Thanksgiving with extended family, and y'all, they are Black, but they eat on time.
Okay.
And they start early. They start so early. We're eating at like 1 o'clock.
Baby, I know, child. When people say when Black, people say be ready at like 12, 1 o'clock. That really mean like
3 or
4. The food's just now like getting ready. Like, oh, you can come eat now.
We have
y'all told me to be here at 2.
We have an uncle that be like 5, 6 o'clock. lo and behold, we be eating at like 8, 9. we bust
Child.
we bust out the Uno and the Cards of Humanity. Be like 10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah. So he's the like, and that works because a lot of times, especially too in Black families, like you're hopping around, like
Right. You
to
have
different.
so many destinations, like, oh, make sure I got to get a plate from here. I got to get a plate from
Yeah,
here.
you gotta
I
go
got to
to
go
auntie
see.
house. You gotta go to cousin
Right.
house. You gotta go to friend house. You know,
You know,
so
you're just being stretched
yes,
everywhere. And I'm like, listen,
every which way.
I will get there when I get there.
Period.
But
Period.
yes, but overall I'm excited for Thanksgiving. I love to eat, child. I can feel
So
I
how
can
do you
feel my
feel
back
about?
extending now.
No, I'm ready for the food. I'm ready.
Yes.
But how do you feel about Thanksgiving overall? I'm very conflicted about the holiday.
Yeah. So I actually meant to like say something about this because when I run across people who like kind of have conflicting feelings about Thanksgiving, for me, it's always been centered around God and being thankful for like family and all that. But I do understand like where Thanksgiving actually, derives from and
Mm-hmm.
the whole
I
history
always,
behind it. So
yeah,
it's
the
like
history. I
I
always want
try
to.
not to think about that part of like okay,
I
like
do.
yeah.
I always want to be. I want to remain like
Yeah.
aware and like empathetic. That it is a day of mourning for some.
It
For the
is.
people who are native to this land, it is like I'm sure it's a hideous holiday. It's a day of mourning, and so I just like to acknowledge that. But on the flip side of it, being a person of being Black, I have never correlated Black Thanksgiving with the colonizers
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
like
Also,
I've never like made
like Black
yeah.
Thanksgiving has always been about like food, family,
Yeah,
fun.
that's what it is
Where
for me.
we're all
Yeah.
off at the same time. We don't really get to see each other much. Everybody has their own thing going on, so it's just a time for like family to be able to come together, like eat really good food. You bust out the Uno or the spades or whatever, the dominoes, whatever your game of choice is in your in your home.
Like it's literally like any other holiday, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a family reunion or
yeah.
like a picnic, summer
Yeah.
picnic or something. That's what it gives that's what it's always given for me. But I can't help but to,
Think about the actual history of
I know this word has been so stigmatized, but it feels like the older I get, the wiser I get, the more woke I get. It's just like I can't like let the day pass without acknowledging that like
and maybe does that make me like desensitized to, even though I know like what it's actually about. Like,
I mean, I think to a certain degree there are certain things that people do get desensitized to, which I feel like comes with like compassion fatigue.
Yeah.
When you just find like once you start having your eyes open to everything that really goes on in the society that we live in, it just gets tiring,
like,
exhausting, like. And then yeah, I think to a certain degree maybe you do find yourself picking and choosing the things to care about, which is like sounds crazy, but it's like so relatable. So to a certain extent I do get that. I do want to acknowledge
there are
that.
other holidays that I kind of feel
right about. I mean, 4th of July, I've said this before on the podcast before,
because I used to be like, yes, I love the 4th of July, yes, but I never really, growing up, schools didn't really teach you like about Juneteenth.
Right.
So when Juneteenth started coming along, I kind of switched the two. Like I switched the two. I started celebrating Juneteenth and stopped celebrating like 4th of July, Independence Day.
That's mainly what I want. I wanted to like repurpose the holiday because it's like holidays, they're so like embedded in America. If you're an American, if you're someone who has been born in America, like these holidays are just so embedded into our, our system and our way of life that it's hard to feel like that you can like kind of just dismantle like a whole national holiday. But I try to repurpose it. That's what I focus on what I actually have control over. So I try to repurpose all of these things into something that is more positive in my opinion. So I always like to I've been wanting to implement a Friendsgiving for like so long. I've been wanting to do that for so long.
When I was in the military, when I was in the military, we had a lot of Friendsgivings.
I love it. I've been seeing like cousin givings. Like I see
and
all
it's
these
actually
different.
it's really fun because like especially when it's your friends are from different cultures, and so you got the different potluck.
Yeah, it's
dishes.
like a potluck.
Yeah,
we've been to a Friendsgiving. My friend Lori, you remember she
oh
invited?
yeah, I do remember that.
And we did a potluck. That was actually really cool. And we played like a trivia game. Like it was fun. It was a vibe. So that's been something I've been wanting to implement into like my, to repurpose the holiday in my mind. Yeah. And then as far as like the day, like it, me personally, like as far as the day, I'm not gonna go out of my way to like cook and plan and stuff like that. But if I have, I have family members, I have friends and stuff like that. If I get invited to something, then I'm gonna show up and eat. I'm sorry.
She's like, I'm gonna show up to eat. I may not contribute, but yeah.
But if somebody got a plate, and that's just that.
And then for me, like for Thanksgiving, like growing up, I wasn't forced to learn how to cook. It was suggested that I learn how to cook, but I didn't start caring to like cook for myself until I got older. So like now that I actually know how to like make certain dishes, I'm like, yeah, like I wouldn't mind contributing. But back in the day, yeah, I was like, I'm just showing up for a plate, make sure it's ready. Yeah.
No, period. And then too, like 4th of July, I've been wanting to like repurpose that with like Essence Fest, because that happens 4th of July weekend every year. I've never been. So I would love for that to be my new 4th of July tradition, because I don't really celebrate Independence Day like that. But again, like if somebody barbecuing,
right, I'm gonna pop me a little firework.
I'm not popping the fireworks, but I see them. I get a free show.
Yeah.
I don't go out and buy fireworks, but I get a free show. Okay.
They pop fireworks all month.
Listen, we live in Southern California, okay? Month. So when I tell you, they start from like June 1st, man, and go well into August, popping them fireworks.
Crazy with them, like, hey y'all, it's over. It's over. And
it's so nuts because most dogs are very anxious when it comes to fireworks and stuff. But Charlie is just a different breed, okay? Because he doesn't get scared or anything. I remember one time I'm driving home and we can see the fireworks popping like out the window. He's like at the window, like, let me out. I want to see.
He's into it. He's like, where's that coming from?
He's like a different breed. I fully anticipated for him to be a nervous wreck around fireworks, but as it turns out, come to find out,
Thanksgiving, everybody ate, so I'm gonna eat.
Speaking of holidays, Beyoncé has blessed us this Christmas.
The woman you are.
This Christmas, we getting some Beyoncé.
The way that she's bringing people together.
I was like, they play football on Christmas?
We're bringing the gays to the football, babe. Okay, like, I love it. I'm not going to be watching the game. Okay.
I don't even know who's playing. Do we even know who's playing?
Right. And let me not say anything, actually.
You're like, actually, let me not embarrass myself.
Let me not embarrass myself. Actually, let's Google it. But no, I'm super excited. That came out of nowhere.
That came super out of nowhere. And again, I didn't even know they played football on I knew they played on Thanksgiving, but I didn't know they played football on Christmas.
I didn't know that either. Damn. Y'all can't even have Christmas?
Right.
Wow.
But
I didn't know that.
I don't know. Because don't basketballs play? I thought basketball players
So is it just Christmas like a regular game? Like this is just like a regular football game. I have
no idea. Like,
because people tune in for the Super Bowl,
right?
But this is just a regular.
I don't know.
What do I even search? Because I searched Beyonce Christmas halftime, not who's playing.
I have no idea. Like I'm so desensitized to that. If you guys follow our social media, our company time.
The Houston Texans, my bad. The Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, so you were about to say Ravens.
I was about to say Ravens. I know.
Have a little confidence, but if you guys follow us on our company time on all of our platforms, you guys see that we create content as well. And I have created a video about football being played in the break room at my job because I'm just like, good Lord, not the entire.
Wait, I didn't see that one. They playing football in the break room?
Yes, they be playing football in the break room.
Wait,
No, yeah, no. That is okay, so can I just say that is so weird to me, like when people are literally at work, like loud, like when it's super obvious where you work, if you know, you know, and then you're just full out making content. Like my like social media self and my real life work self, they don't know each other.
Yeah. So when I'm at work, people, like I talk to maybe like 5 people, like a handful of people at work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you're a completely different person outside of work. Like your social media is like, I mean, not that I'm doing anything crazy on my social media, but like I just time and place. You know what I mean? There's time and place for things.
No, I know my coworkers would have the exact same reaction. Yeah. Like they get a glimpse, like me cause so like I've been going into work, I ain't been having no nails. I don't wear nails unless I have something going on. Like, and you know, when it's time to get like glammed up, it's time to get glammed up. But every other day just be regular degular. Babe, but of course I have like you know, I have like remnants of my girl, where you been? Of my other life, because I moonlight as like a baddie. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, I like your nails. Like, where you been? Da, 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 da. Yeah. And I have let it slip that I let it slip a couple times that I have videos that have gone viral online, and then somebody went, now that you say that, I think I reckon. I was like, oh, that's like my worst nightmare.
So the time that I was out, I think I told you I was out with some friends. What were we doing? We was out at the club doing something. It was acting crazy. And I saw this dude that works with me.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh my God, that's happened to me too.
And he was like, hey, that's
you did tell me that.
He was like, hey, what's up? This is the guy that works at. And he's like, what if I didn't want people to know where I work? And he's like, yeah, you work at so and so. Like, yeah, and he's with some other people that I don't know. He's like, yeah, I work with this guy. Yeah, we work together at da 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 da. And I'm like, with my friends, and I'm like, hey, mind you, I don't know this person. Like, yeah, I've seen him at work, but I've never spoken to this person at work. Like,
right.
So we're outside of work, and you just feel so comfortable to just come up to me and just telling all my business, where I work at, my whole full name, like everything.
Somebody that you just literally just see in passing, or maybe you trained with them. And
and so now every time when I see him at work, when I see this person at work, he's like, what's up? Like, thinking we're cool or whatever. And he's like super sweet, like super cool. Like, once I actually like got to know him, started talking to him, like he's cool. But like that initial, like, you think we all buddy just because you saw me outside of work.
Yeah.
And I was like in my gig, honey. Like, I was not dressed how I dressed at work.
Face card.
So yeah, I was like, everything. Oh shit. But he's cool.
That's so crazy.
But Beyoncé, and then we're also getting Kendrick.
Well, okay, so let's talk about Kendrick, Wicked Kendrick Day. Because
Wicked and Kendrick on the same
day. Like, I was so overwhelmed. And then we
overstimulated.
So right. And that was Friday. We also went to a Renaissance themed party. Shout out to DJ Honeybee. Girl, I love you down.
Like, DJ Honeybee, I love you. Rose God, we love you guys.
I have been wanting to go to an event that you guys are DJing for so long.
Because we see it, and it's like, damn, we can't make it. I know. But this one, we were like, no.
Honeybee, I use all of your mixes, especially Beyonce ones. Like, I love every single mix that you do. I just, it gives me main character energy. I love, like, you're the best.
And on top of that, it was a Renaissance theme.
Right, it was a Renaissance theme extravaganza.
We in that bitch.
And what's so crazy is that I had so much Renaissance stuff left over. I literally ordered stuff in bulk when it was time for Renaissance, because I had one theme that I was going with. I was going with Alien Superstar, hence the nails. The nails had a dual purpose, by the way. The nails were serving my Alien Superstar look for the Renaissance party, Club Renaissance, but also too for Wicked. You know, shout out to Alphaba. I had to rock the green nails. So they, killing two birds with one stone here. But yes.
So that day we went to go see Wicked first, right?
Yeah, we did go see Wicked earlier in the day. I was sobbing. The
This
night
one right here.
before, the night before, the soundtrack dropped. It dropped
Yeah.
at like midnight, which
Mhm.
is, I think it dropped probably earlier than that.
Yeah, it
On
did.
our end,
Yeah, it
probably like at
did.
9:00, because we get it, or once it's gonna be dropped once it's a drop at midnight, we usually get it like 3 hours earlier in
Yeah.
California. PST. So I definitely listened to the soundtrack top to bottom. I was sobbing. By the time I hit the wizard and I was sobbing just from listening. And I'm washing dishes, listening to the song. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so good, it's so good. Like, I'm just doing a lot. And then by
But
the time
you have a connection
I
to
do,
Wicked,
so you
and
guys,
I don't.
Wicked is so near and dear to my heart. Like, first and foremost, I am a theater kid through and through.
Yes.
Wicked was the first Broadway musical I ever got to see live ever. And it was such a just monumental occasion. I got to go with my high school drama club, and we, took a charter bus down to LA. I think it was, what was so crazy? Like, there was this paparazzi moment because we parked and then we walked to the theater. There was this like paparazzi moment with like, who is it? Victoria and David Beckham. And they were just like walking, like these cameras were like flashing at them. So like, imagine like a group of just theater kids like out in LA, like having a whole
Oh, wow.
like
You're like, oh.
adventure. I'm like, oh my god, it's LA, it's Hollywood. Like, I was having a whole moment. It was like
Oh,
a whole
wow.
thing. So it's a very near and dear memory to my heart. And of course, I cried the first time I ever saw it.
Yeah.
And then since then, I have seen it. I see it every time it comes out to California. So I think I've seen it a total of like 5 times. I have the playbills. I just started. It's a book. It's actually, the whole story is derived from a book. I just started reading it. Hard to believe for myself,
You
but
never
I have
read it?
never read it. But it's good because like now I just need to be fed. Like, I need
And
more
we
Wicked.
were
I need
fed.
more Wicked, especially because we have to wait a whole year for part 2. I'm just like, oh my god,
Oh my
I can't even
Yeah,
deal.
so like she has a connection to
A
Wicked.
very deep connection.
I didn't really know much about Wicked prior to seeing the movie. Like, I'd never seen the play, but I knew that it was like the backstory from like
For the Wizard of Oz.
For the
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. I
The
didn't know that
origin
much.
stories of like the witches of the Wizard
Yes,
of
I
Oz.
did know that much, but I didn't know the whole story detail, like in detail. So when I saw it, it was just kind of like fresh eyes, never really not into it like how she was into it.
And honestly, for someone like me,
But I loved it.
It's so great to be able to relive it through someone, through fresh eyes who doesn't know. And like, that's the best feeling, because I wish I could feel that again. I wish I could feel all of that.
But when I
anew.
saw, like when we saw the preview, like when they first teased it, and we knew Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Now,
oh,
okay,
my goodness.
mind you, I have been following the movie progress for years. When I tell you years, I knew like Reese Witherspoon was going to be like a producer on it, like so many years ago. I heard when Ariana got cast. I heard when Cynthia got cast. I've been following the progress of this film for so
where
long.
Is it? Where
and then
is
when they
it?
finally dropped the trailer a year out. So it's still like, it's just been such a long build up to this point, and it did not disappoint.
It didn't. They lived up to all of the hype.
It exceeded for me. Like I was sobbing. I was wailing like
from
a small child.
To just, I can't even say it wasn't even CGI. Like,
yeah,
the sets were real.
My God,
the sets were real, and
I
looked
love
so
that
magical.
They built
like
sets. Can I just tell you, like, I just feel like CGI is just like so ruining the art of theater.
I love CGI. Like, I love like special effect things. But
some stuff I feel like it's necessary
when it makes sense.
Like, it makes sense.
When
but
it makes
sometimes
sense.
I feel like so often
it can
CGI
be a little
is used
overbearing
unnecessarily. I don't like when like the artificial intelligence and CGI and all that stuff is just used unnecessarily. So I love that they literally built Munchkin Land. absolutely adore that. And it just gave me all of the feels as far as like the nostalgia. Like obviously like Alphaba, her flying scenes and stuff like that, like that's gonna need to be CGI. Like some stuff makes sense to be CGI.
Yeah.
But it's like
even some of her flying scenes weren't CGI, babe. She was singing and flipping in
no,
the air real time.
she was, but like obviously like her surroundings.
Yeah, her surroundings.
Yeah. But yeah, all that singing and flipping and flying.
She was in the air doing that.
She was in the
that
air,
breath control,
harnessed in, doing that. Like that is insane.
Like what kind of? I'm just thinking about like the training for that. Like what does she have to do to like even?
Cynthia is a beast. Let me tell you,
she's not even. I don't think she's human.
I got introduced to Cynthia. I would say in 2016. I never got to see Color Purple, unfortunately, but I've seen her perform. I Am Here so many. Oh my god! To this day, like that performance just brings tears to my eyes. Like
yeah, that's.
So I just knew that she was just gonna like wreck me. I knew as soon as they announced that she was gonna be Alphaba, I just knew she was gonna wreck my life, and she absolutely did. Defying Gravity was everything and more.
Oh my god! So before we went to go see it, I was like on TikTok and I would see people crying after the movie, and I'm like, whoa, okay. I get that this is a really good movie, but y'all are crying. But after I went to go see it, I'm not gonna lie. Them tears, there was Jack tugging on them tear gates, okay? It was tugging, but this one was over here boo-hoo crying.
I was sobbing, like literally, like, and I was trying, because when I was at home, when listening to it, I just let it out. So when I tell you I was wailing, I was like, oh, like wailing. So when I'm in the theater, I'm not gonna yell out. So my chest is literally like pumping up and down,
blood pressure high.
my hand is over my mouth, like just trying to stifle it. My heart is beating so fast, and I because just like it's such a spiritual.
It was a
experience.
It was a moment. It really
oh my gosh!
And the fact that they ended it off like that. She said it.
I didn't know until
it was a part 2.
Until maybe a couple days prior to seeing it that they had split it up into 2 parts. I don't know how I missed that, but I had no idea they were going to do that, and that just upset me so. And the moment he told me that it's it's split up into part 2, right? I said, if these motherfuckers stop this shit at Defying Gravity, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Because they have been repeating that
last riff, that iconic riff, yes. Yeah. Over and over.
I've been hearing
and then it started dawning on me that like when I had seen trailers, I was like, I haven't seen anything that even alludes to the second half, because I've seen the show. So it's like,
and I don't know. So I'm like, hey, it's a part 2, I guess.
You're right. Oh my god, they're not gonna show us the whole thing. No. And then of course the soundtrack drops, and where do they stop it? Right smack dab at Defying Gravity. I was like,
yep.
That burned me up.
But yes, overall, it was
it's phenomenal.
Phenomenal, magical.
Run, don't walk.
And then we found out Kendrick dropped.
Yeah, same day.
I'm like, oh, we're just getting fed today.
I know, like, to get Squabble Up finally, because I thought it was definitely going to be like another like To Pimp a Butterfly situation, where I think that was All Right before the All Right video. He had the snippet that he never dropped. So I just thought for sure that Squabble Up was going to be the same thing. But praise God.
He gave it to us. He
gave it to us and then some. So I just want to really quickly, say what some of the standouts are for me. Y'all, please let us know, like, if y'all have been listening like us, please let us know which ones are grabbing your attention. But for me, TV Off obviously is definitely a standout.
Everybody loves TV Off.
I mean, who doesn't love Mustard?
He did a lot on this album.
Man, he went off. I love it. Squabble Up. I've been waiting. So Squabble Up is like obvious. Luther Eats. I love Man at the Garden. It feels like very meditative. I love that it's almost like an affirmation. Like, I deserve it all. I
like
love that.
Heart Part 6.
I love Hey Now. Reincarnated is very pot coded.
The whole album. Come on.
The whole it's no skips. I'm gonna be buying a vinyl, but yeah. Reincarnated is very Tupac coded. It has a Tupac sample, obviously, but even the way he's rapping is just in his lyricism, the whole 9.
Literally like Tupac reincarnated. Like
right.
Literally.
Yeah, it gives very Machiavelli era.
Yeah.
Peekaboo is also a standout for me. I love Peekaboo. Yeah, a great body of work.
And I love
overall.
the collaborations, because at first he didn't have.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now and it's telling me
the
who's
features
features,
labeled
but
on
now
there.
it's telling me who's featured.
Because I was
on it.
definitely listening to it like, who is this? I never heard this rapper before.
I mean, like I knew which
But
ones had like SZA, like
of course,
right,
of course, like. But it's very, very much like West Coast.
Yes,
coded.
I love that it's just like basically a love letter to West Coast hip hop. I love that he used so many West Coast artists.
Yeah.
It just job well done. I expect nothing less.
He threw some Hispanic artists in there too.
He did. That was on we were just saying that. Which one was it? I can't remember what it was. Either TV off or I think it was either TV off or Peekaboo. It's the one where he says crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious.
That might
one.
be Peekaboo.
That might be Peekaboo. Yeah.
Might be Peekaboo. But yeah.
But in any case,
Luther, I really like Luther.
Luther, the samples are great.
The samples, he went crazy on the samples.
The samples eat on this. I'm sorry, they're so good. Luther is definitely a favorite for me.
Yeah,
I just have to give it another. I'm gonna give it many more run throughs
to it.
Right,
like,
you guys already know. You have to.
You
dissect.
can't even listen to it like just 3 times. Like you gotta like.
You have to dissect
really
Kendrick
sit in it to understand it. Like
you have to dissect his stuff. So.
And today he dropped the visual for Squabble Up. I don't think you've seen it yet.
I haven't,
but I've watched it 3 times and feel like I still don't know what it's about. So I need to
watch it. I need to watch it for sure. Okay. Last but not least.
What's up?
Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna move along because we can start talking about what I was gonna mention in these other segments. But I actually want to get into the Let's Do Something Fun segment.
Okay.
On our Let's Do Something Fun segment, we have a portion called On Social. So I have a very unique discussion that I want to get into today because I feel like this comes up a lot for me. I know it has come up a lot for me in my life, so I'm sure it's come up for other people as well. But I want to talk about how the social commentary just has a tendency to get brought into the home and actually really have like a severe impact in the home. I'll start by giving a real life example. So an ex of mine, when we were together, we would watch The Best Man. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the plot lines of The Best Man, but I'll just really to quickly paraphrase. Basically, you have like 2 best friends. One of them is a famous football player, and he's getting married to like his, college sweetheart, the love of his life. The football player, his name is Lance. He has like a terrible like womanizing past, like even while being with Mia, who the friend, Harper was friends with Mia before Lance met Mia and introduced them. And then Lance basically like dogged her out so many times, was constantly cheating on her. So Mia got revenge eventually and ended up sleeping with Harper. So it's like a double whammy because she slept with the best friend, and then of course like this is Lance's best friend. So it's like a double betrayal type of situation.
Yeah, like why would you do this?
When I tell you, me and my ex would get into it over this whole scenario,
watching it
together because he was always demonizing what Mia did more than what Lance did. And I was like, I feel like Lance definitely brought this on himself. He for being a womanizer, for being, just being a cheater, being unfaithful to someone that he's in a relationship with. I feel like this is something that he brought on himself. Is it impactful? Yeah, like she didn't have to go out and sleep with numerous people to make it hurt. Like, she was like a one and done. Like, you started it, but I ended it type of situation.
Right.
So, and I just feel like, you just bring certain things on yourself. It's like karmic, justice, like certain things you just kind of like bring on yourself. So I was just like, I don't see one sin as greater than the other. I see like somebody did something to somebody and they did something back to them. You don't see
one like, oh, this is worse than that. Like,
yeah, no. I feel like y'all if anything, I feel like now y'all got like a even
fair game.
It's an even playing field now. You know what I mean? And oh my gosh,
and he's like, how could you?
No. He's like, we're her best friend.
Well.
Well.
Well. So like,
so of course that would cause that caused like such a rift. I feel like that caused such like an uncomfortable tension rift, like just because we didn't see eye to eye on that particular instance. So to give like a recent example, like with the Keke Palmer Usher situation, when I tell you I was so happy to be single for that moment. Like like I just thought, especially how viral it went, how everybody was just talking about
like
it. I was like, whoo, and just seeing some of the comments, like some of the back and forth, I was like, whoo, I'm so glad to be single for this moment, this moment in our pop culture. I'm
seeing
so
the
happy.
Polar opposite like reaction.
Yes, because don't you dare
be my man and you talking about something.
Don't you dare have the audacity to go online and talk about anything that we got going on on Beyonce's
and talk about anything that we got going on. What stays in this house?
In this house.
Stays in this house.
Right. Okay. And then on top of that, too, like Kiki's job, just being a public figure like that was just so reckless and inconsiderate. Like,
yeah. It's and
my whole thing is like, I've always said this. It's not that I'm thinking he don't have like a right to be mad. Like you can be mad,
feel the way you feel, but there's ways to go about expressing that.
Exactly. Cause like, I mean, if it was like my dude on stage with like SZA, you know, and it went viral or something like that, my little feelings would be hurt, but I feel like I would get over it just because that's the nature of like, you know, concerts and stuff like that.
But yes, but also giving like Kiki's, like you said, her professional life, like you didn't think about that before you did what you did. Like you, especially when it's like a celebrity. I hate to say like celebrity, but like she's a celebrity. Right. We don't really know who you are, nigga. So it's like
he said it. We were thinking it. He said it.
So it's like you got to think about how like I don't know. It's like how celebrities have what's the training like before you go?
Yeah, like media training.
It's like he ain't have none of that.
Yeah. It gives that like zero media training.
And it's like you just came out to a lot of people, it's like you just came out of nowhere.
Right. And then just started like being in your feelings on the internet. Like that's just kind of wild to me. If it were me, that's not how I would go about it. I'm not like into like posting like
I feel like he could have said that to her.
Yeah, and probably did, but it's like to me it just feels attention seeking at that point. It's like you could have said it to her, but then you went online. So that's what makes it give attention seeking and like all these other things, because there was like so many better ways that you could have gone about handling it and you just didn't. But yes, again,
social commentary can
really come into
dividing, actually.
And speaking of which, probably one of the biggest polarizing things to like enter the stratosphere this post-election mayhem that we find ourselves in. People getting cut off left, right, blocked, estranged, unfriended, the whole nine.
Families, actually.
Man, I feel like I see video after video after video of just people talking about how they, you know, their mom. I saw this one video with this girl. She was like, my mom and my grandma aren't even speaking to me because I voted for Trump. I'm like,
well,
I'm like, well, first of all, why don't you love yourself? I mean, number one,
why don't you love yourself?
If you are a woman and you voted for Trump, I'm sorry. Like, why don't you love yourself? Is that mean to say? I'm sorry. I feel like I have very like strong opinions.
You see how I'm over here and I ain't said nothing because I'm thinking like, should I say this?
I just have, as a person who voted to save our democracy, I just have I have very strong opinions about people who voted otherwise. I as far as like your moral compass, your mental stability, or your mental like competency, like I have very strong opinions about that because I just don't understand how or why, or so
it's like what we've been hearing. Like you can have an opinion, but not
if it goes
we
against,
can disagree. We can agree to disagree, but not about things like racism
or
or
yes, or stuff
homophobia.
that just
We can
violates like my
disagree. We can
human
agree to
rights, my
disagree
civil
about
rights. You know what I mean? Like not stuff that would like violate me as a person, as a
right.
woman.
We can agree to
Or,
disagree
you
that
know,
pineapples don't belong on pizza.
Yeah, agree to disagree.
But not, oh, should families be deported? Like ripping apart families. Like, no.
Not,
Like,
you know, should I get proper medical attention if I'm pregnant?
right.
You know?
Like,
Like
no.
what?
We cannot agree to disagree. Like, no, this is not right. Just out point blank period. Like, no.
And honestly, like I don't I feel like people will try to gaslight you into like, oh, you're gonna do this over that, you're gonna stop talking to somebody over that, or you're gonna get mad over that. Like I feel like people have a tendency to gaslight others over social commentary. Like because I feel like a lot of people feel like, why are you bringing it into the home? But I feel like the reason why people have such strong feelings and opinions about it is because ultimately, like a lot of these things can really speak to your moral character, your judgment, you know, just who you are as a person. So I think that's, and then it's just, I can imagine being married to somebody I thought I knew my entire life, and then like I'm waking up next to a Trump voter.
Right. But
what?
What? But I also feel like a lot of people don't think that Trump is going to do what he said he's going to do, but
I don't know why you would think
are
that. Well,
they
what
better
am
get
I?
ready for a rude
What was
awakening
it?
because it's
Maya
already
Angelou who
started.
said it? When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Right. Like it's already started. So you see the people that he's put into these leader positions. Like,
right.
So
Anyway.
Yeah. I can't say that I can't be cool with you, like, if you agree with what that man is trying to do right now. Like, I just can't. Like, I can't. Not being a black male and gay in America, like, I can't. Like,
not being a woman, a black woman in America, like, no.
nah.
And then it's like, my whole thing is like, if you are a person who knows me, who claims to care about me, love me, whatever,
Right.
and you voted for that man, like literally get the fuck on. Like literally, because how could you care? And then it's like, if you're somebody who is on, you know, a certain same level as me, like if you are black or you are a woman,
You
you
are
know,
gay
and
or
you
queer,
still voted for them, like, baby, I
don't
pity you.
understand
What, like, baby,
how,
what is
like,
wrong? Like, what? Why don't you love yourself?
What's really baffling me is the Hispanic community. I don't understand it.
Gosh,
Y'all had the
go
highest.
there.
Y'all had the highest voting ratings for that man.
That's what everybody, yeah.
So when your abuela, when they start looking for her, I'm gonna be like, there she is.
She's over there.
She's right there. But no, like my heart actually does like go out to.
I feel bad for people who couldn't vote. I
Damn.
feel like bad for people who couldn't vote, like literally couldn't vote, and are now going to be affected.
Man,
you know, because there's a, especially in, you know, the immigrant community, there's plenty of people who probably just like could end up not being able to vote, like just because they couldn't, and like couldn't use their voice even if they wanted to, and are now potentially going to have to suffer the consequences. Right, your own family members, friends, what have you, Charlie.
And your own family member is voting for you to get deported.
Right. Your own friend,
I don't understand that.
Your own friend, your neighbors, your coworkers. What is your problem?
I don't understand that.
I really don't. I vote, of course. Charlie, come here now.
Child, you was quiet this whole time.
Do I vote to serve my own interest? Of course. But yeah. I couldn't see myself voting in a way that could negatively impact anybody that is near and dear to me. So any man, woman, child in my you know, like mass shootings, like, you know what I mean, like that affects children that I know, you know what I mean,
Right.
children that I know that go to school like that, if you know, so it's like, yes, am I thinking about myself? Yes, but I'm also thinking about like the
Because this is
society as a
the
whole when I vote.
presidency. This isn't just going to be somebody who's like ruling over just me. This is somebody that's going to be
The president
the
of the
president of the
whole
whole
country.
country.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just me. So it's
They're
like,
responsible for all of us. So that's how I view voting. I view voting as a responsibility for all of us and not just some of us, one of us. And I feel like so many people this year voted to serve their own personal
yeah.
interests.
If
You know what
anything,
I
because I
mean?
thought voting was supposed to be a thing for like unity, like people
Mhm.
coming together, making a decision together.
Mhm.
Which, like, backstory, I mean, off topic, I don't think that, like, sometimes I feel like the voting is like rigged a
Yeah,
lot of the
same.
times.
And I mean, it's hard for people not to feel that way, especially after having a year like this, you know?
But I thought voting was supposed to be a unity thing, and if anything, I feel like this year it just showed how divided we are. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
wow, like
Only
that's
time
actually
will
what people
tell.
voted for.
And speaking of which, can go ahead and segue into our work chronicles.
Word
Um,
Chronicles.
because I have a lot of post election stress and anxiety where my job is concerned.
Yeah.
Caleb and I, we both, you know, we're creatives at heart. We're dream chasers, but we also have regular jobs.
Nine to fives.
Yeah, and we're both in kind of like logistics industry, that type of field. So like, you know, delivery services, like all that kind of stuff. So it's, and honestly, this field is like going to be a dying field anyway. Like it's heavily going to be impacted by AI.
The
People are trying,
robots are coming. The robots are here.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
They're here
Elon,
physically.
whatever the
You can
head,
go buy
whatever
one at
he's the head
Target.
of, they're already here and they're going to be replacing like a lot of jobs,
Yes.
so many jobs. So I'm already thinking about that, but I'm also thinking about like these quote unquote tariffs. I don't know why I said quote unquote tariffs. No, these
These
tariffs,
tariffs.
these for real tariffs that the that the Orange Man plans to implement once he's in office. That's going to heavily affect everywhere. Like I feel like people are already experiencing layoffs. People have already started losing like their Christmas bonuses and stuff like that. Like people, like companies are already preparing for these tariffs, like they're already financially preparing for them, and that makes me concerned. Like, you know, like especially when you've been in a place of struggle and you finally feel like you're starting to get back on your feet. Like I have a lot going on in my personal life. I did just get like another job. I have two jobs now as far as like jobs, and then like I have, everybody knows that I do content creating and like all of that. Everybody knows
Which
that
is
I'm a
a job in
creative.
itself.
That is its own job in and of itself. I'm wanting to go back to school. Like I just have a lot of things that I have going on in my personal life that I'm trying to carry out and bring to fruition. And literally this man being elected into office, I feel like jeopardizes all of that. And it's very stressful.
I wouldn't say jeopardize,
That's what it
but
feels like for me.
it's definitely not gonna make it easier.
Yeah.
Like, and if you don't know what a tariff is, I deeply advise you to Google it.
I don't understand how you guys could possibly think that if the country that we live in needs something and they're going to get it from another country, why would another country pay money to send us shit? Like that
That don't even
doesn't
make
make
sense.
sense.
Like, I watch a lot of TikTok, okay? And I forget his name, but it's this guy. He goes around and asks people, Trump supporters, questions like, "What's a tariff? Do you know?" Like, or just like asking them why they voted for Trump and like their legit reasoning for like voting for him. And the number one thing that people say is that, oh, he's going to make the economy better. Babe, We already know what it's like to have Trump as a president.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know what he did to the economy. Flushed it.
Right.
So what makes you think he hasn't shown us, he hasn't told us anything. He hasn't shown us a plan of how he's going to make the economy better.
Right.
And he's like, yeah. He starts talking about like the tariffs, but like the people that he's asking, these Trump supporters, they don't know what a tariff is.
Exactly.
So I'm like, dang, you voted for this man and don't even know like for like your real reasoning behind voting him. You don't even know like what he's planning to do.
And then it's like you guys want to praise Trump because when he was in office, the economy was quote unquote better. The economy was quote unquote better as a result of the Obama administration, which has been proven time and time and time again. So he reaped the benefits of 8 years of a good administration.
And ain't he trying to
And
get
then
rid of that too?
and
Or has?
but he's basically trying to get rid of Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
Which are the exact, again, that's another thing.
That's the
Like
exact same
those
thing.
are literally the exact same thing.
He said he's going to get rid of Obamacare. These are Trump supporters.
Reading
He's
is
going to get rid of
fundamental.
Obamacare. Come to find out, babe, you have Obamacare.
And that's a tactic. That's a thing with like changing the name of something to like basically like demonizing it, not even realizing they're voting against their own best interests. It's like so ridiculous. So yeah, Trump's administration reaped the benefits of Obama's administration, and then Biden's administration spent time fixing basically what Trump did when he was in office those 4 years. So it's like it's been like this seesaw of like up and down, just having to
We didn't learn.
pick the pieces, and we didn't learn from the first time. I was like, that's another thing. Is like I can believe, but I'm just so disappointed that y'all would go and be dumb twice. Like I'm really disappointed in that.
Twice.
Not just once. Like they say, fool me once, shame on. Now it's shame on y'all. Cause fool me once, shame on them. Fool me twice, shame on y'all. Now shame on y'all. It was shame on y'all the first time, to be honest. Like but the first time was the time that I was actually shocked. I was like, wow, y'all would really vote for a clown to run the country. Y'all would really do that. Okay. That was like my eye-opening moment. So this time around was more like fear. Like I hope and pray to God.
This time around, it just felt like, oh, anybody could be president. Remember when Kanye was parading that he was gonna I'm not putting it past him now if he tried to run like for real this time.
It was fear for me. I was just fearful that they would actually do it again. I was like, because y'all have already proven that y'all would do it once. So y'all are fully capable of doing it again. I had no qualms about that. It was just more so a fear. I was like, but just hope, having like a glimmer of hope that y'all wouldn't do it again, and then y'all go and do it again. So yeah, so as far as like work is concerned, I am concerned about how a lot of this is going to affect jobs, both jobs and the economy as a whole. Like those are my two like biggest concerns, because like it feels nice to find your footing, but it like I don't want to feel like the rug is being pulled from under me. But I feel like there are people who are fighting tooth and nail against anything that and everything that we could potentially see coming as a result of him being in office. So that does give me a glimmer of hope, but I'm still stressed and pressed, child. Very much so.
I think we're gonna be good. I don't know. I just have a feeling that
we gonna be
everything that
right.
he's trying to do, like, it's just not
gonna get blocked.
Yeah, it's gonna get blocked, and it just takes a lot of time
to
undo. What he says? He put somebody in charge to rewrite the Constitution. I don't want to talk because there are a lot of rumors out there, but the people that he's put in place, like, I just don't see it like working. Like, I just don't see it working at all.
They're not qualified. These aren't people
and
that
these
are qualified.
laws and structures that have been held for so long, and for you to think that you just finna come and change it in a couple of days, like, no.
Yeah, I mean, it would take time, and it would be a long fight for him to upend like certain stuff.
To
Like,
uproot a lot of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so that's the one thing that I hold on to, and nobody's gonna take it lying down.
Right.
So this is not the America of old,
Baby,
nobody.
you done told these gay people we can get married, and you think we finna be like, oh, okay, we can't get married anymore. We can't have kids anymore. No, we finna act a fool, babe.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought them attacking what was that they attacked? Them white people attacked. They
White
broke
people?
into the why I'm drawing a blank. It was crazy. They were in, was it the White House? It wasn't the White House.
The insurrection.
Yeah.
January 6th.
January 6th.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Y'all thought that was crazy,
and that was so mild by comparison. I hate even thinking about that day because it was obviously like just like a very blatant attack. But
I was in boot camp when that happened, so like I was like unaware that all that really fucking happened. Like,
that's crazy, but that was just such a blatant like attack, and for it to be as calm and I don't want to say peaceful, but like there were very little casualties, you know what I mean? Like if those people
actually get on the inside,
for them to be able to, like if those were black people, they would
have shot us at the door, at the stairs, down the block.
We would not have a foot.
Okay.
Inside, we would have had to have been ahead of you. These are literally like hicks with like pitchforks and stuff at the door, with their snaggletooths, like running, storming the Capitol. You know what I mean? We would have to be the elite. Okay, we would have to be smarter than y'all to even make it into the building. You know what I mean? So it's another situation that just burns me up because it's just like these are very blatant attacks on our democracy, and y'all don't care, all because this is like a white man.
And I bet you those same people voted for him.
Yeah. Child. A lot of corporations.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you just sent me something on TikTok. A list of places. I'm honestly,
TJ Maxx.
Honestly, Home Goods is owned by TJ Maxx. Honestly, a lot of places on that list, I'm not even like phased about not spending my dollar
everywhere
there. Because if you guys want to put a fine point to it, that's what really needs to be done in order to affect change. Like if we could come together on that and stop spending our money
and
at
these
certain
companies
places,
gave big donations.
Yeah.
Big donations.
We should bankrupt them as a thank you. That's what it would really take, honestly.
But you know people ain't finna stop. People need they TJ Maxx.
I ain't stopped going to Starbucks. It's like you mentioned earlier, it's like a desensitization at this point. People get desensitized to certain things. You pick and choose your, your righteous anger, what you choose to be upset about. And I think it's just because, like I said, because of the compassion fatigue. It's so much that it just gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
At a certain point. But
Ciao.
Pray for us. Keep us.
In the words of Kendrick Lamar, we're going to be all right.
We're going to be all right. And on that note, it's time for us to get out of here, y'all.
We're going to wrap it up.
We done sat and we done chopped it up. We done got down to the nitty-gritty. We done yacked and chat. So I think that this is going to be the November episode, and we'll probably do one December episode in Christmas. So again, like I was saying earlier, don't be on the lookout for us like that. like we just kind of like going with the flow. But yeah, until next time, you will hear back from us sometime in December.
All right, you guys.
Bye.